When a child's head bangs on the ground or is hit by an object, the soft brain inside the skull moves back and forth and can even twist from side to side. These movements can cause damage to the connections within the brain and within brain cells that communicate with one another, allowing the child to function normally. If the brain's injury is caused because the child didn't get enough oxygen for a period of time, then brain cells actually die. Babies and toddlers are especially at risk for these injuries because their bodies are still growing. In children 5 and under, the brain is even more delicate because it isn't fully formed. If it's damaged while still trying to grow, it may not be able to recover from the injury. A child's head is bigger in size in relation to the rest of his or her body, so the head is frequently the spot where the child will hit the ground or other hard surface when he or she falls. Toddlers are just learning to walk, run, and climb, so they fall a lot more often than older children or adults. Another reason little ones are at risk is that they are too young to understand dangerous behaviors such as running into the road or climbing up on high places. In children 5 and under, most brain injuries happen because of a fall. Babies and toddlers are at risk for drowning and near drowning incidents because they are unable to lift their heads out of water or swim. The lack of oxygen can cause a brain injury. Babies and toddlers can suffer brain injury because they were shaken. This is known as shaken baby syndrome. There's another section on this videotape where you can learn more about preventing shaken baby syndrome. You can take a number of safety precautions to reduce the risk of your baby or toddler from experiencing a traumatic brain injury. Protect your child from falls by using safety restraints on changing tables, high chairs, or other infant equipment. Use the infant seats, or for larger children, safety straps in shopping carts. Place safety gates at the tops and bottoms of stairs to prevent falls. Be sure they're securely mounted. Little ones can quickly climb up on furniture or countertops. Be sure they are supervised at all times to prevent falling. Use window locks or only open windows slightly at the bottom and at the top for fresh air to prevent children from falling through the window and to the ground below. Playgrounds can be places where children fall and hit their heads. If your child is under 5, make sure the playground equipment is for children that are young. Slides and swings designed for school-aged children are just too big for toddlers and infants. Playground areas of soft sand or wood fiber chips are safer if your child falls than are blacktop surfaces, hard-packed sand, or even grass. Make sure your child isn't wearing clothing with long ties or laces that can get caught in equipment and choke the child. Young children and babies should never be left alone near water in a bathtub, pool, or body of water like the ocean or a lake. Children can drown or be deprived of oxygen in only an inch of water, so it's really important they be watched constantly near water. Of course, it's always important that children ride in properly installed car seats in the back seat of any car. Children under 12 should always sit in the back seat of the vehicle, away from airbags. Children under 20 pounds should face the rear of the back seat and can use convertible car seats that can be reversed to face front once the children exceed 20 pounds and until they reach 40 pounds. From 41 to 80 pounds, children should use an approved booster seat. And children riding bikes, inline skates, scooters, or playing sports should always wear helmets certified by the Consumer Product Safety Commission and other protective equipment such as arm and knee pads to keep from being seriously injured. If your child falls or has been hit in the head, it's important that you seek medical attention if you notice the following. Your child loses consciousness. Your child is unusually sleepy or has a hard time waking up. Your child suddenly becomes clumsy or seems uncoordinated. Your child vomits or feels like he or she might vomit. Your child is bleeding from the ears. Your child seems to be behaving strangely or seems confused. Just to be safe, if you're not sure Whether your child has a serious injury, it's best to check with your healthcare provider.
And we hit the high school level, and it was a much different story. It wasn't working okay anymore. And he made the decision that he wanted to go to Hoover High School his 10th grade year, and that frightened me. I thought, oh no, you know, but he was determined, and so he came to Hoover High School, and that was a wonderful experience. So we again had hit a really hard place, and help just arrived in the right form. She got Brock in with a doctor who handles sleep disorders, and they did a sleep study, identified that Brock had narcolepsy, or a form of narcolepsy that is not unusual for people to have post-head injury. And that's when all the puzzle pieces